Let me explain something to a lot of people. See, there's something that has been on my mind for quite a very, very long time, and I'm finally going to speak on it. I feel that this generation is very lost. A lot of people in this generation do not understand what it means to have a struggle, or what it means to struggle, or how it feels to even struggle. And a lot of times I feel embarrassed to even be a part of this generation because there's a lot of things that I learned not only about myself, but there's a lot of information that I actually know that the average person my age would not even know. And like the main problem with this generation is that they spend so much time overrating so many music artists, so many athletes, a lot of modern day talent, that they're willing to push aside the real talent that paved the way for them before they even got a name for themselves. They call them kings and queens, and they say all this other different type stuff, and then they want to have the nerve to get offended when someone actually tells them why their favorite even has a name. They don't even have respect for the people that started it way back in the beginning. For a lot of these other people to even have a name for themselves. This generation is very illiterate, they are very delusional, and they are very emotionally unbalanced. They use social media to attack people whenever they see something that a celeb does that they don't agree with, to where back in my time, we barely even use social media. Like if there was something that we didn't agree with, we still stuck by that person regardless. But yet you have so many fake people now that are going along on bandwagons, that are just going along with any and everything that people say. And then you have all these different things that's coming out, all these different trends that come out. People just go along with it, and because it goes viral, they automatically just think that that's just the way to go. But to me, that's just not my way of living, and that's not how I rock, and that's not how I get down. And this is the same thing that Floyd Mayweather was even talking about when he made that comment, talking about how a lot of these rappers, these rappers today are making it okay to talk about drugs and all this other type stuff, and they push all these certain agendas out there. But yet it's all of a sudden a problem when someone that is real talented comes into the game, and yet they'll nitpick and they'll find certain things about them that they won't like, either because they don't like the fact that they're talented, or they just don't want someone that is better than the person that they like. So they'll pick other things about them that they will try to down them about. Like, for example, they'll probably pick things about them, of what they do outside of music, that they can find as a negative, or they can pick certain things about maybe their personal life, or maybe what their sexuality is, or who they sleep with, or anything. They'll just pick anything out of the box to try to disregard and to try to knock down a person, just to keep somebody below something, just to make them seem not as talented. You know, it's just that it seems like nobody seemed to have taught these kids that quality is more than quantity, and substance outweighs air. And someone that is real and someone that has a genuine heart is always going to outshine those other people over there, because those 95% of people that's being fake and going around, following everything, they're going to be the last people on this earth. Just as it says in the Bible, that whoever finishes last is going to finish first, and whoever finishes first is going to finish last. And that's just how I feel. A lot of this stuff that's being played on the radio, and a lot of this stuff that is being put out now, I feel is not even real talent. A lot of this music is a bunch of bullshit, and I feel that it's just a whole bunch of stuff that you really can't even relate to. I don't care nothing about how times have changed. I don't care nothing about how, how people have to switch to the times to where it is now. I don't care anything about that. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's right just because you have to sing what everybody wants to hear, or because you want to do what everybody wants you to do. This is why Lauryn Hill and all these other people are speaking out against the system, because because they're basically forming these people, Hollywood and stuff. They're forming these people into what they want them to be, and then people want to try to turn around and they want to try to call somebody irrelevant, and they want to try to say that somebody's not as popular. They always want to compare music sales and talk about who's more relevant than the other person, but you don't know what that person's going through behind closed doors. This is why Dave Chappelle and Lauryn Hill and everybody else is calling out that fake mess that is going on. I don't have to mention it because I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about. There's so many agendas that is being pushed the wrong way, and a lot of these artists are only famous because, and they're only on the radio because they literally sold their behind, they literally sold their ass to get famous. And there's agendas that's being pushed now to where you literally have to have a pretty face, and you have to have something about you that is selling some type of sex to proceed. And to me, I don't respect it. And if those people do not like what I have to say, well, then they can sue me and they can take me to court. That's how I feel about it. I don't respect how lost this generation is, and I don't respect how we are allowing ourselves as a society to let the fake fabricated stuff outweigh the real genuine stuff. That just lets you know how many real down to earth people it is. And that's all I got to say about that. So sue me. If you don't like what I say, sue me.